Hello and welcome to another episode of Postcards for Petrolheads. In this episode we're going to look at some postcards that feature E-Type Jaguars. Hope you enjoy it, and if you do, please click like below. And if you want to encourage me to make any more of these videos, please follow and I'll know that there's an audience out there. Thank you very much. Let's start with this postcard. This is La Rue Royale in Paris, and what we've got here is a lovely E-Type Roadster parked and left with its roof down, nice and casual. Very beautiful car, and in this colour it looks magnificent. This is a Series 1 car. It's got Perspex headlight covers. I think we can make them out over the left light in the postcard, and the indicators over the bumper, which marks it out as an early car. And it's got that vertical mirror support in the middle of the windscreen. You don't see these anymore, but they were quite popular at one time. I think the MGB had one as well. Anyway, here we have a very low, sleek Jaguar E-Type in the early 60s, making everything else look very old-fashioned. It's left-hand drive. I'm not sure what the registration tells us. It looks like a British plate to me, in which case the WK tells us it was registered in Coventry. So maybe it's a car owned by the factory, owned by Jaguar. I don't really know. One of the things I like about postcards showing street scenes is all the peripheral things that you see in the picture. You don't get that, of course, in a postcard of an E-Type Jaguar, where the car is the subject of the photo. The car behind the E-Type is a Daimler Conquest. They stopped making those in about, 57 or 58. And then we have a 2CV, or as we're in Paris, I guess we should say a deux chevaux. But the car behind that is really confusing, or it did confuse me at first. It's like one of those optical illusions where once you see something, you cannot see anything else. But when something else is pointed out to you, you cannot see what you first saw. So when I first saw that car, I thought it was a big American car facing in the opposite direction. And maybe you just cannot see that, which is quite likely, as it's not. But anyway, that's what I saw. In my mind, it was something like a 1956 Chrysler New Yorker. Anyway, I then noticed that the man standing waiting to cross the street was in fact a waiter. And well, presumably he's from the Royal Concord and he's crossing the road and he's holding a tray. Anyway, I realized that the vertical rear light of the Chrysler was in fact not a light at all. It was the bottle on the tray that he's carrying. Now, of course, I can't see anything more than the much more likely Citroen DS facing forward, not a Chrysler at all. Anyway, I quite like that waiter standing there with the tray so poised in his hands, so much of a waiter stance there. Anyway, that's my E-Type on a cobbled Parisian street postcard. It's unposted, which is a shame really, because I always prefer posted cards, as their messages add something to add a bit of interest. So let's have a look at another card. This one's from Malta. Again, it's unposted. Now, I bought this not for the Jaguar. I didn't even notice the Jaguar when I saw it on eBay. I bought it for the Type 1 Volkswagen on the bridge. I quite like the fact that there was stuff in the back of that Volkswagen. It was being used for what it was made for. And it's crossing the bridge away from the Triton fountain, which is very famous. But then when I got the card, I saw the Jaguar, and it's another Roadster. It's got the top down, which is perfect, and this time it's in motion. Okay, now from Malta, let's jump to Gibraltar. And here we've got a fine shot of the harbour, but of much more interest to us petrol heads are the cars. Before leaping in and drooling over that Jaguar, there's another car that deserves a mention, as it's much, much rarer now than any E-Type. In fact, I must find out how many were ever made, because it could have been rarer in its time, for all I know. Of course, we're not talking about the Beetle or the Minor. Between these is a standard companion. Now, this was the estate version of the Standard 10. Have you ever seen one of those? I haven't. Now, it's very unusual because unlike most small estate cars of the time, it has 4 doors. I think most of those little estate cars were based on the vans. They converted the van shape into an estate car and just had the 2 driver's doors. Of course, that saved a bit of money as well, but this one had 4 doors, 5 doors, I guess, as it's an estate. And you can just about make out the rear door handles in the photograph. So quite a catch, that postcard is, to have caught those 2 cars. The star attraction, of course, is the Jaguar, and this time it's a coupe, I think. I think we can make out it's a coupe. Again, it's an early Series 1 car. I can't make out the number, but as this is sunny Gibraltar, it may well have survived. It might still be driving around today, or maybe it's been exported and it's driving around in Surrey, I don't know. Now, next we have another coupe. This time it's a later V12 version. We can just about make out the V12 badge on the back, but you can't see the quad exhausts, but we know they're there down in that murky bit underneath the bumper. The printing of this multi-scene card is really horrible, so it's difficult to make out what the registration is. But the car is caught for all time in this postcard from the Wirral as it drove through Caldy village. This card has been posted, and it was posted in 1980, and it also features the huge and very rare Mercedes 300 SE convertible in Main Street, Neston, and of course a motorboat with a steering wheel. Okay, the last of my E-Type postcards shows a 1965 coupe, registration number CTH140C. And this is a card I no longer own. It featured on my blog, postcardsforpetrolheads.co.uk, back in December of 2013. And its owner contacted me. I think somebody in the Jaguar Owners Club saw it and mentioned it on a forum. And then the owner discovered it on that forum. And then he emailed me and said, wow, that's my car. Do you think I can have the postcard? And anyway, I posted the postcard to him thinking I'll replace that. But do you know, I've never seen that card for sale again. Of course, next week, maybe it'll come up on eBay. I don't know, but I've never seen it again. So it's a card that I sort of regret losing. But on the other hand, it's good that it's found its way back to the owner of the car. Well, not found its way back. It was never there, but that they are joined. Anyway, that's my E-Type Jaguar postcards. If you want me to do any more videos, please like this video and subscribe. And if you want to request a particular car or an era of postcard, let me know, and I'll have a look through my collection and see what I've got. Thank you for watching.